So last lesson we talked about tables and we briefly took a look at the style tag and how we make things look pretty. And we looked at a very small percentage of what the style tag is capable of. So let's take a deeper look into this cool tag for our websites. So in VS Code, if you have any folders open here, you can just right click, remove folder from workspace. And once you have no folders opened, we can open one. Make sure you're in your web design folder. And let's call this folder, I don't know, what are we on, lesson 5 or something? 05, what are we calling this one? Let's do styling, sure. Go into the folder and press add. And close any tabs there. And now we have our styling folder. Let's go ahead and add a file to our styling folder. This is going to be the home page of our website, so index.html. And I'll show you a cool little shortcut because I believe you're ready for it. If you hold Shift on your keyboard and press the number 1, so that's Shift and 1. You should get this that pops up, and then just press Enter. And what we have is pretty much the exact, well, not the exact same, but we have a built-in standard HTML layout so that we don't have to type all this stuff again. We didn't add all of these attributes. That's fine. Just ignore them. I think we've worked with this program enough that we're fine to just leave this stuff. All that you need to know is we've got our doc type, we've got our opening and closing HTML tag, head tag, body tag. So just what we did before, except it just does it for you. I'm going to right click, open with live server, and I'm just going to, there we go. So let's do some common stylings here. So right off the bat, website doesn't look too good. Obviously, there's nothing in there. I'm going to be lazy. Why don't we just find a background image and use that for our website? Can we do that? Of course we can. So let's find a background image. So I want a dark one. Feel darker images look a little bit better. Let's go images, tools, size, large. And you can pick any background you want. You don't need to pick a dark one, but I'm just going to do that. Something simple. Nice flower with a little butterfly. So remember, if you want to use this image in your website, the easiest way to do that is to save your image into your folder. So the one you're working with. So 05 styling. And I will call this image flower. Press enter. And go back to my website, shut this down. There we go. I'll close this tab too. So if I want my website to have this background image, remember what the body tag is. The body tag is basically everything we see on our website. So I'm going to style the body tag, which sounds a little crazy, but bear with me here. So if you want to style something in your website, you use the style tag. And generally we put the style tag inside the head tag. So I've got some other stuff in the head already. That's okay. I'm just going to make some more room for my style tag. Should give you an opening and closing one. And you can give yourself some room inside these two tags. So, repeating myself, if I want to style the body of my website, I'm going to say that I want to style the body. So I use the name body. And I open a set of curly braces, just like that. And you can press enter to make it look a little bit better. All right, there's 1,000 different stylings we can use, but they're pretty self-explanatory. The name usually reflects what it does pretty well. So if I want a background image for my website, you best believe that there is a background image style. And we are going to insert the background image by using the URL. So if you type in URL and press tab, the file name of your background goes inside these brackets. So you should have your background image popped up here. That means you saved it in the right spot. And all you have to do is just type the name of the file. I'm going to give myself a little bit of room. And Control S to save. And if I full screen this website, it now has a background image. But if you have a keen eye, background image doesn't, it's kind of cut off. I guess I can open it. This is what the background image originally was. And this is what my website is. So you can see, I don't see the full flower like I do in this one. It's cut off. And that's going to happen 99% of the time you add a background image to your website. So we can fix that quite easily with some more stylings. The first one, once again, in your body styling, is going to be background size. And we're going to put cover. So if you hit that with a Control S to save, now we have this website. So it doesn't matter how big your browser is, the background image will always fill the entire space, which is pretty handy. But we've got this issue of the background basically repeating itself, duplicating itself. So who would have thought background repeats? No repeat. We don't want no repeat. And now we go full screen and we have the exact same image as the one we downloaded. So this is the first thing the user is going to see when they open our website. Let's give our website some text. So we're not styling anymore. Let's add a text element, a paragraph element to our website. Actually, let's add a header. Let's add an H2 header to get some nice big text. And what's the first thing our website's going to say? I don't know. Let's say welcome to our website. Or let's just say our website, a little too formal. So if you press Control S to save, I don't see anything, and you might not either depending on what background you used. So remember, text by default is black. So thankfully I can style anything. So let's style our H2 elements. So in your opening and closing style tag, let's go H2, and let's give this header some stylings. Easy one right off the bat. Color. And we've got all these colors to choose from. Let's keep it simple. I'm going to go with white. Control S to save. And there we see our lovely text pop up. All right, it's good, but it's not good enough. I don't like this font. That's default font. It's boring. Everyone has the same font. I want my own font. So if you go over into Google Fonts, you've got thousands of fonts you can choose from for your website. You can sort by trending, most popular, newest. Let's go newest. Newest probably's got some cool ones. So any of these fonts you can add to your website. So just find one you like. Ooh, there's a nice one. Click on it and you just scroll down a little bit until you see the font that you want. And then you press that little plus button. Boom. So this pop-up should pop up. If it doesn't, it's right here. So you just have to click that. Go over to the imports button and then just copy everything but the style tags. Our HTML, we already have the style tags, so we don't need more. So I'm just going to copy all the lines except the style ones. So back in your style tags, that's where we're going to put them. Doesn't matter where you put them, I'll put them at the top. So I just Control V to paste. And now I've got this font in my website ready to use. Now it's imported here, but it's not being used yet. So if I want my header to have this font, all you need to do is in all this orange text, you should see family. And you should see family being set to equal something. So I don't even know how to pronounce this. Agbalumo. So family equals Agbalumo. Okay. So if you want to use this Agbalumo font, all you have to do is I want to use it on my header. So I'm going to go font family. Here's all the default fonts. Single quotation. Agbadulo. I don't even know if I spelled that right. I'm just going to copy it and paste it to make sure I did it right. Agbalumo. Yours will be different if you didn't download my font. Yours will be called something else. And then Control S to save. And you should see your font reflect the one you just added to your website. Even if something as little as a font change can make it really pop out. Let's make it pop out even more. Let's make it bigger. So in your H2 styling, font size, how many pixels? Let's go 50 pixels, 50 px. Control S to save. Ooh. Look at that, very nice. But I want to show you something, so I'm going to make it smaller just for demonstration purposes. So I'm going to make it 30 pixels, but I want to change the position of it. It's too close to the edge of my website. I want to put it somewhere in the middle, kind of lined up with this flower. So what you can do is there's a very useful styling called padding. And padding basically lets you push something from either the left, the top, the bottom, or the right of your website. So I want to push this text away from the left side of my website. I want to push it closer to the middle. So I'm going to push it from the left. And how many pixels am I going to push it? I'm going to try 30 pixels. See how it pushed it over? Maybe I want to push it over a little bit more. Let's go 40. Control S. A little bit more. 50. Control S. There we go. It's kind of away from the edge. It's kind of more in line with this flower. But maybe it's too close to the top of my website. I want it to be down more. So I'm going to go padding from the top of my website. Let's try 30 pixels. Control S to save. There. I pushed it from the top of my website 30 pixels down. Maybe a bit more. Let's go 50. And you can see with all these stylings, like it's just trial and error. You make things look how you want. You don't have to use the same values as me. I'm going to change some things around. There we go. I like that a lot. So you can see the only thing I have on my website is a paragraph element. And it looks better than anything we've ever made so far. So the magic of web design really happens with these stylings. All right, what else could we add? Well, under my website, maybe I'll add a paragraph element. And I will say here you will find all sorts of things about flowers. Control S to save. And I can't see this text because it's black. So I'm going to style this text. So this text is a paragraph element. So I'm going to style P. Color white. Font family, I'm just going to copy that. And maybe that's just a little bit too big. So font size, let's try 10 pixels. And play around with your padding. So I'm going to push it from the left a bit, 30 pixels. And there we go. Nice and clean. Now you may notice I've been designing this website with my web page this small, this minimized. If I was to full screen my website, it's going to look quite different and not as good. There are ways to get around that, but you might have to take my web design course to fix that. So as long as your website looks good in the position that you have it set in, so if you're kind of doing the split screen thing, don't worry about this for now. That's okay. There are ways to fix it, but let's keep it simple. So there you go. There's some more stylings. There's background images, some text stylings, adding your own fonts, positioning things on your websites where you'd like them to be. Pretty straightforward.